Hello and welcome to Mutiny Motorsport. It is the finale of Season 9 coming up and we're so excited to have you join us. If you've been watching the whole season, you will know what a climax this is about to come to. And we are at Curitiba for the final race. It's a little bit poetic actually. The Curitiba and Sebring were the first and second tracks we picked for the pre-season test, if you remember all that way back. But we have to talk about the drivers' standings as we go into this race. TTAR and Jeff are separated by, it looks like 5 points on the screen, but it's actually only 3. TTAR is going to be deducted 2 points for the drop rounds that we have in this. And then we have Jeff just behind him, Droopy, Shattered Compass, John. That midfield is just going to explode this race. It is so close between everyone. And as we move on to the team standings, it is Rothman's ahead, but this could all change over the course of the day. And West behind, John Player and HP are pretty close behind, very tucked up. And then Canon as well, just in a slightly distant 5th. And then 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th teams are so close, and a good weekend could transform these guys. And we know we're going to Curitiba because it's the last track on the calendar left to do. We're back in Brazil. It's 3.69 kilometers for 10 tricky corners at about just under 1,000 meters altitude. So the engine's just a little bit down on power. It's going to be a tricky day for the guys out there. It's a really tricky track. So let's see what happened in qualifying.
So rolling into qualifying, we saw Veltec on a shock pole. The Canons had been really talking things up throughout the week, and Veltec definitely backed that up, going on pole by a full 0.2 over TTAR. So my eyes obviously drawn to TTAR about 4 positions ahead of Jeff in qualifying. That's not going to necessarily help Jeff's championship efforts. And then in third, John, 4th, Shattered, followed by Garrett. Jeff, as I aforementioned, Stupid Doobie, Orange, Renzo, Dave, really struggling to defend his championship this late into the season. Nate, Debug, Maxi, and Coob Dog rounding out the back.
So if we remember, the sprint is in reverse order. So those guys who didn't necessarily qualify very well get the advantage in this sprint format, and they're leading the pack as they finish this formation lap. You can see in the top right-hand map, they're just about to enter the last corner. That huge hairpin, quite tricky. It's got a bit of camber to help you, but it does not have grip on the outside as they come around onto the start-finish straight. This is it. This is the season finale. This is the last sprint we're going to see. And look at that Coob Dog. He is out there on his own as he's about to start the lap. And there he goes. It is green. And he's racing down to turn 1, and look at the mess of cars behind him.
Adding out 6 wide, it looks like.
Coob Dog has it easy into the first corner, and then just the pack arrives. It looks pretty clean at the back there.
And it's really a tricky kind of turn 1, 2, 3 complex. It's really a 1-lane chicane. Glad to see everybody get through there and clean. Now the Hornets have descended on Coob Dog.
Yeah. And this is going to be a tricky race because all the midfield drivers here, if you saw in the drivers' standings, are fighting for every last point. This could mean the difference between like 10th and 6th, basically. So these guys are going to go at it, but the 3 championship contenders really are caught right in the middle of everything.
Like Orange Dave, trying a bit of a move around the outside of Dave there, side by side.
Yeah, that is Dave is going to be thinking about that and then thinks better of it. Oh no! Yeah, he's hanging on around the outside. Brave stuff there from Dave. He's risking it. And then he's conceding position right now as one of the West spins.
It's Jeff. I think it was Jeff.
Oh, it's the teammates. No!
Well, that's a fitting end, I guess.
Oh, Jeff. Heartbreak. His only bit of thanks right now is that TTR is not in the points and Dave only has 1 point. So it isn't the biggest loss right now, and it is at the beginning, so he can catch back up to the pack. But he is in 14th, and he is already 23 seconds behind the leader. So this is going to be a monster effort in this short sprint race.
Yeah, anything outside of the safety car there. We see another spinner there. It's like Coob Dog Dropping down from first. Oh no, spinning out from the front.
It's going to hurt as they go 3 wide into this tricky left-hand corner. Oh. Who was in the middle of that? I think that was Orange in the middle of that as well. There we go, hanging on board. They come round.
Orange, a little bit of an HP sandwich there.
Yeah, it was. And we see Shattered as well, a driver who we know likes to get his elbows out. He knows the championship game is over for him, but the midfield battle is still out, so there will be elbows out in that midfield. As we see Nate.
Yeah, Nate's really managed to stretch his legs out in front. I mean, you can see just how tight it is from basically second all the way down to 10th, basically. Everybody's still on top of each other.
It is quite something, and Debug and Nate have profited from this early moment and the little bit of chaos with the spinning that we saw, and they're off. But it does look like in the midfield it's TTAR and Garrett with the fastest lap times at the moment as they catch up to the pack. Here on board with Orange, just looking in front. There's Maxi and Renzo in his way. He's got to be thinking, I have the pace. Renzo's pretty quick though. You've got to think. He's had a couple of fastest laps. He shocked everyone in the season opener with a fastest lap as well in the preseason test. So just needs to find some consistency to get himself up into the points a little bit more as we see Maxi going wide. Maxi's on the grass. That was all the moment that was needed there as he survived. Oh, he's down to 10th, Maxi. That was not what he needed.
And I know the drivers have been complaining of some wind on the some tailwind entering that corner, and it looks like he just got caught out. I didn't see any contact between him and Orange, so just like a moment of snap of oversteer.
Well, hello there.
Who is Orange caught there to say, well, hello there, or was that for Maxi? TTR right behind John now. He's in 8th place, so there's 1 point ahead of him if he wants it. He's got to take it off John at the moment. He's a tricky customer. We know John's been a top midfielder, just clambering on the edge of podiums and all that sort. Oh, I think he's making a move down the inside. And he does a little bit of wheel banging, but they survive through the left-hander.
A little bit of argy-bargy there.
A little bit. That was a move to get a point there from the championship leader so far.
TTR will be picking up 1 point here. Again, as we mentioned, just 3 points covered Jeff and TTR entering this race, so every point counts. Jeff obviously kind of mired back there in 12th, 23 seconds off the lead, not going to really be able to recover, so TTR, as you see, he's moved up to 6th now. He's going to want to make as much headway as he can.
Here's who is that fighting? That is Dave and Orange into the first complex. Dave trying it, looking right on the outside.
Doing a great job there, Orange.
His teammate gives him some encouragement. Orange takes the inside line. They go around the corner, they do the old switcheroo. Dave comes up the inside.
Oh!
Sorry, Orange.
Apologies and elbows.
Yeah.
I wonder if their suspension's okay. The settings for this season have been medium damage, so more likely than not, it is going to cost you with little moments like that. But it was side on side, so I wonder if there's a little bit of damage there as we see TTR climbing up to the back of now Shattered Compass and Orange, his teammate.
And Nate's like rubbish being chased by greyhounds.
Oh, that's Debug saying he's being chased by everyone, but at the moment he's setting some pretty quick times. 15.6, the rest of the pack in the 16s, only a couple in the 15s, so not so much a rabbit. And doing a great job hunting down Nate there.
Yeah, they've really managed to just kind of skip out to the lead. I think that clean air really is helping them, and in the mid 115s for both those drivers out front. As you can see TTR on the inside of Shattered, it looks like, down there in the back.
We're not on board with it right now, but we can see They're separated by 0.2 of a second, 0.1 of a second. Oh!
Oh!
Sorry. No, we lost it.
John apologizing for losing it there. Who was that with him? Was that Viltec, I think? He got caught up in that as they exit out of the corner, out of the tricky left-hander into the fast-flowing chicane right now. And then towards the final corner as we're at lap 7 here, so probably just over halfway. We've got Nate leading Debug and Dave. That's our podium so far, followed by Orange, Shattered, TTR, Garrett, Viltec, John, Renzo, Jeff up to 11th now, still 25 seconds off the lead, so even Jeff's pace isn't bringing him back into the game here. And then Coob Dog, Stupidoobie, and Max, who has retired from that spin that we saw earlier.
Quite the up and down for Max here. Just going to comment on that with, you know, a win in the sprint early in the season.
Dave, I think we can catch him if we work together, so I'll be conservative on my passes.
Oh, look at this. This is teamwork to get to the front with the opposition team. HP and the Rothmans guys working together. They're like, let's not slow each other down. And if you have a look at their lap times, unbelievable. They set exactly the same lap time the last lap round. As we see TTR ahead of Shattered, and Shattered is breathing down the neck of TTR. That is a close gap. TTR must be fearful for his championship right now, but he does trust Shattered. But Shattered has had a few crashes this year. Do not forget, Orange and Shattered have had a bit of argy-bargy this season, if you don't remember.
Yeah, TTR probably hoping that Shattered's not thinking it's the other Rothmans in front of him, considering the history between Orange and Shattered this year. I think TTR is hopefully going, all right, remember, I'm one of the championship leaders. Don't punt me here.
Yeah, a little white flag hanging out the side of the cockpit. No, it's the wrong one.
I'm not the one you have the beef with, yeah.
It looks to have grown just a little bit as we see TTR now starting to just put a bit of pace gap between himself and Shattered now. Just going to start slowly gone.
Can see Dave and Orange about half a second faster than Nate and Debug on this last lap, so it does seem like that strategy is working. You know, sometimes if you start fighting, it'll obviously pull you back, but it seems like those two drivers think that over the last few laps here, they might be able to reel in those two leaders, fight for the win.
And you got to think, actually, a little bit cheeky. He's helping a championship rival of his teammate, but obviously right now his teammate's in the points, so actually the gap won't come down too much. You got to think Dave is a little bit more of the outsider coming into this race, but at the moment he's putting himself right back in contention for that championship place. Though he will be starting, don't forget he qualified near the back there, so he will be starting the feature race from further back as we see the two Canon boys side by side. And that, I think, is Viltec. Is it? Going through. Great move there.
Really smooth. Yeah, good, smooth, respectful racing there.
John just catching up to the back of them. Canon boys have been seriously quick, but finding themselves just on the fringes of the points. You don't remember, and I don't know how you wouldn't remember after watching all these sprint races, points only go down to 7th, so just 1 point for the Canon boys right now. Oh, and I see TTR is falling down the leaderboard. 9th place, what has happened?
Brake too late.
There we go, thank you TTR. Timely radio message. Brake too late, I think that was in the tricky left-hander in the center of the map there. See where it swoops back round off towards the final corner in the top left hand. That is not what he needed.
No, and again, a chance to pick up a few points on Jeff and not making it. As we see here, it looks like 3rd and 4th place have caught Debug there in 2nd. Are they both going to take him into the braking zone?
Wow!
A little bit of contact there from Orange. Maybe a bit of frustration there from Debug, but
that was great.
You left the door open.
Punishment for leaving the door open there.
I would think there, you know, Orange and Dave are kind of looking at the clock and realizing there's maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 laps left, and so they were going to take that opportunity. They know they had the pace. They knew they needed to get through.
That was a great move there, and then we see so Garrett and Viltech have both and John have actually made up a place thanks to TTR having a moment there, as we see John really hounding them. So at the moment, both the Cannon boys are in the points, but I think John is thinking, you know what, I could use an extra point. If you could just get out of my way, boys, I will take it, please. And he's going to have a bit of a hard time making it work. Oh, as we see, is that Viltech goes super defensive. And
John's going to take them both. I think the Cannon boys skipped over each other a little bit, yeah.
What a move. What a move from the marble driver there. Driving alone for most of the season. Teammate not came back after a bit of PC error really early in the season. And John is making up for it with such a move. That is a great move of the season.
Oh no, Nate.
Oh, Orange seen something with Nate. Where is he? Can't
Tumbling
see
down,
him.
he's already in 5th.
Yeah,
There he is on the inside of the track there.
Locked up the front left. Damn it.
I think that was almost a similar thing to TTAR there.
And I think this is the last lap, so he would have given up the lead on the final lap, I believe, as they're entering the final turn here.
It is. I think that's the Cannons touch each other. Oh, and Garrett's white. TTR is through.
So TTAR is able to pick up a point just at the end there. I think it seemed like everything fell apart for the Cannons there just at the end, just kind of tripping over each other. Jeff is going to finish 11th, so he's not going to pick up a point. I think that's going to widen the championship gap to 4.
That is Dave in first. Incredible win. Helped there with Orange just saying, look, I won't attack you, but let's go make our way through this. Shattered in third.
No real like ice racing.
That was the best braking I've ever seen into turn 1, mate. That was incredible when you overtook me. I genuinely thought there was no way you were going to make that.
Yeah, it was a little sketchy, but it worked. I figured I was either going to go into the wall.
That's the way it goes, you know.
And what an end to that sprint. That is Dave in a sprint win. Orange in second. Shattered getting third place. Debug, John, Viltech, and TTR rounding out the point scorers, with Viltech taking fastest lap there, so make a note of that. Whoa! Garrett, Nate, Renzo, Jeff, Kubdog, Stupidoobie, and Max not finishing, unfortunately, at the back. And if we have a look on the right-hand side, we've got championship standings right now. 4 points between Jeff and TTR with the drop round applied, and Dave just hanging on, just 10 points behind. So if something major happens in this feature race that we have coming up for you next, it could all change. So please keep tuning in for the next race, which is the season finale, the final race of the season, the feature race at Curitiba. Thank you so much for watching.